Well, welcome everyone. We want to welcome you to our first Juneteenth virtual pop up film event. My name is Linda Edie, and I'm the Director of Programming for the Denton Black Film Festival. And my co host tonight is Gloria Austin. Okay, well, I'm not sure. Gloria, though, is my co host, and she's the Executive Director for the, let me get this right, National Multicultural Western Heritage Museum. Uh, and we want to let you know we're welcoming you to this free event, but I'm welcoming you on behalf of Gloria and I. And also, while this is a free event, we're also, there is a site that you'll find on the Eventbrite link or on Facebook where you can give a donation, make a donation. And your donation, if you like the work that we are doing, it will benefit both the museum and the Denton Black Film Festival. Okay, Gloria, something happened and little tech issues, so I introduced you a little bit, but you can tell them a little bit about it. Say hello. Gloria?
Oh, hello, everyone. Hi. Hello, everyone. Welcome tonight. We're so happy that you could join us from the comfort of your home. We're excited that you took this opportunity to join us to go on this journey and to find out a little bit more about the wonderful Denton Black Film Festival and also the National Multicultural Western Heritage Museum that's located in Fort Worth.
Right. And for those of you that might not be familiar with the Denton Black Film Festival, or even those that are, there are two things that we really try to do. And one is share Black culture and build community. So we commissioned a video through Productions a couple of years ago to shed light on just what is Black culture. So we want to share that video with you now.
One day, this nation will rise up, live up to the meaning of its creed.
Yes, we can to justice and equality.
We do it for the culture. Stay true to the culture. How does this benefit the culture? Or how does this hurt the culture? For God's sakes, what is the culture? Black culture is simply a reaction to the circumstances that we've had to endure. It's a unique interpretation of the world around us. I'm not sure if you've realized this, but the entire world has been influenced by our world. The influence is so strong to the point to where you may not even realize the degree in which you participate. For example, howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. Howdy, 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 ho. Without even explaining, you recognize that. Or what about,
Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in.
self-explanatory. Our culture has evolved over time, but there are some aspects of it that haven't changed that much, mainly because of two institutions, family and religion. By analyzing these two factors, you'll have a better understanding of our values and principles, how we communicate with each other, and how we interact with other cultures. But let's not forget the motherland, the spirit and soul of Mother Africa, the birthplace of mankind. Our African roots give birth to our modern culture. The way we sing, the way we dance, the way we act and perform is embedded in our DNA. So now the entire world recognizes our culture. You know it when you see it, and when you hear it. We pass it down to our children like this. She's your queen to be, a queen to be forever, a queen who do whatever His Highness desires. We celebrate the ambassadors of our culture. Oscar Micheaux, Paul Robeson, Spike Lee, Alvin Ailey, James Cleveland, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and of course, all of you. So in the spirit of those before us and in the presence of those with us, and also on behalf of the Denton Black Film Festival, we would like to say welcome to our culture. This is only the beginning.
Keep striving. Cause I love you. It's not that hard to see what they made out of you and me.
All roads lead to Denton.
Well, tonight we have planned for you a range of films and conversations. They're going to be designed to entertain, educate, and inspire you. We'll have show you films, and then we'll have a conversation with the filmmaker to find out what they thought about their films. Why did they do that film? What are they up to now? So the first film that we're going to start off with is a film called Zoo. And this film won multiple awards on the international and U.S. film festivals. We actually showed this film in our second year in 2016. It's about the last known human zoo in 1958's World's Fair in Brussels, Belgium. We present you Zoo. And after which we'll have a conversation with the filmmaker, Monda Raquel Webb.
Beeilung jetzt! Wir möchten die Show nicht verpassen. Sie werden nicht warten, auch wenn es dein Geburtstag ist.
Okay, Mama, coming soon.
Ma'am, Sasiya naming mountain.
Hush now, today's a special day. You must look your prettiest.
Oh yeah, Danado. Oh so Danase, Danase, Daunyaminase.
No. Es ist entweder de Puppe oder der Ballon. Es ist deine Entscheidung. Oh, wir werden dies nicht an deinem Geburtstag tun. Nimm die Puppe und sei dankbar.
Mama, how long will we be in this new place? Mama, I don't like it here. Will it be fun? Won't I see the exotic creature?
Exotic creature. And also go okoti forever. Ube warm. Nkofunu be warm ende. Nemo, warm. And show me. I mean kasapi, and so make us warm water. What's it? Mama, when you more than yepe, and casa so yepe. What's your man? Eh?
Enjoy the show, young man. Thank you. It must be your birthday. What a special day it is for you then. Take this ticket for free popcorn, just for you. Enjoy the show, my little star.
Danke.
Fraus und Fräuleins, Monsieurs et Mademoiselles, les enfants, welcome! In a few minutes, you are going to experience a truly unforgettable experience. So, gather around, come in close.
Mama, we're gonna miss it. My birthday will be ruined.
Let the birthday girl through.
Mama, won't you come?
Yeah, go away. Wait. Drink.
Mama, why is that little girl inside the fence? Will she perform acrobatics? That must be what we're waiting for, no?
What's the problem? Why isn't it eating? Is it not hungry?
Oh, what a cute little monkey. Oh, I guess she eats the flowers.
Savage!
Savage!
No! stamina badie. Akabiole na. Akabiole, I want the stamina badie. Akabiole, I want the stamina badie. Akabiole na. Akabiole, I want the stamina badie. Akabiole, I want the stamina badie.
Okay. Hello. Today I'd like to introduce you to Monda Raquel Webb, one of my favorite people in the world. And Monda is a storyteller. She's a poet. She's a performer. She's the owner of Little Known Stories production company, where she seeks to unearth little known stories that have been buried in the crevices of history's pages. And she shares them with us through a visual lens, and most notably through a woman's visual lens. I think, Monda, it's in your DNA. After all, your mother, Cynthia Terry, was a theater major, and your dad was a sociology major, Robert Webb. So you came by this honestly. So tell us, how did this story, where did this come from? How did you get interested in these little known stories, and where did this particular story come from?
Well, I love history. Well, first of all, thank you. Hi, Linda.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on this evening. I really appreciate it and being a part of this dynamic, innovative virtual pop-up for Juneteenth. I'm really appreciative. And so I want to thank you for being a leader in this space. Okay, I have it on my mobile, so I was just trying to make sure that you guys could see me okay. But so I love history,
Seeing this part, we're
and
not seeing all of your face, Monda.
okay, all right,
Okay.
let's see.
Okay.
I did something
Okay.
with my fingers, and all of a sudden I was like, ah, okay. All right. So, but yes, when we talk about it being in the DNA, I have, ever since I was a little girl, I've been curious about things that normally you don't find out in school. And I realized that by just talking to my relatives, every one of us has some really fascinating little known stories about our history. And I think by being curious enough to learn that, it helps to ground me as a person, as a woman, as a filmmaker, as a storyteller. And when I came across, with regard to Zoo Volker Show, I came across a picture on Twitter of a young woman a little girl actually in a human zoo. And I didn't know what a human zoo was. I'd never even heard of it. And it was just hard for me to fathom. So I did some research, and I had a knee jerk reaction to this picture. And I said to myself, this needs to be a film. She was in a gate surrounded by Europeans, and it was 1958, World's Fair, Brussels, Belgium, and the exhibit was they would promote these exhibits as savages. And so I'm like, you can't tell me that Europeans didn't know what Africans looked like in 1958. So I was really upset about it, and I wanted to make a film that would present the facts, and then and also be hopeful at the same time, because when
You're frozen a little bit. I think you froze a little bit, Monda. But one thing I was going to talk about too was the use of color in the film, because it's like black and white, and then there's a point where there's a balloon that turns yellow and there's color, and to me that presents hope. We froze a little bit, so I was talking about your use of color in the film, how it's black and white, and then there's the color, the balloon, and the ribbon with the little girl, and how for me that kind of represented hope. And it translates a little bit to what I'm seeing now with all the marches and things that are going on, and younger people that are getting together and saying certain things are wrong. There's social justice issues, there's institutionalized racism, things that need to change. And I think all of that gives me hope, but I see that in your film as well. One thing I know, Monda, that you mentioned too was about Paul Robeson, famous actor, how he was actually even part of a human zoo. That was something we always think about, them having the overweight lady or the woman with the mustache and things like that maybe we've heard of. But in this particular case, the way that they were portraying Africans was just appalling. And to know that it traveled around the United States and in Europe and didn't end until 1958. So it's something's happened with it. We talked a little bit more about what you told me about Paul Robeson, and just, and I talked about your use of color in the film and how that gave me hope, Monda.
Yes, and it was on purpose. I wanted to have that yellow, just like the tie yellow ribbon around the old tree. I wanted that to represent hope for humanity. Can you hear me okay, Linda? I know I got cut out a couple of times.
Yeah,
but
I can hear you okay.
Story.
We're going to have to cut you off in like just a minute, because tell me, what else are you doing? Any projects or anything? What do you have going on? Anything you want to tell us about?
Yes, so well, just briefly, I just want to encourage everyone to for us all to be human, to look at one another as equal. And I'm looking to go into pre-production for Red Clay, Dirt and Mountains, which will be a full-length feature film sometime in the fall or early 2021. So
okay, great. Yes, we'll be looking for it, Monda. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Okay, good evening.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go. Our next two films are going to be animations. It's called Heroes of Color series. And the first one is Harlem Hellfighters. It's where the 369th U.S. Army Regiment in World War I. It was a segregated unit, but they're one of the most decorated units in history. And then the second animation is going to be Ronald McNair. It's about him. He was the second Black astronaut to conquer space travel. And most of us will remember him from the unfortunate incident in 1986 with the Challenger, which exploded. Then after that, we're going to talk to David Heredia, who's the filmmaker responsible for these two animations. I think you'll really enjoy them.
The U.S. Army's 369th Infantry Regiment was one of the most celebrated African-American military units in U.S. history. During World War I, the 369th's heroism and fierce determination on the battlefield earned them the nickname Hellfighters from their German enemies. While the U.S. Army thought Black soldiers were worthless, the Hellfighters proved themselves to be indispensable to the French army to which they were assigned. The French called them Men of Bronze out of respect, but the soldiers became internationally known as the Harlem Hellfighters. In 1917, the U.S. declared war on Germany, which prompted many African Americans to enlist because they were eager to prove their worth in the military. Unfortunately, the Marines did not accept black soldiers, and the Navy only took a small number of them. In forming the 369th Infantry Regiment, the New York National Guard recruited hundreds of young black men from Harlem. While the U.S. Army did accept black soldiers, they were not allowed to fight alongside white soldiers. Ironically, the soldiers had just swore to defend a country that openly lynched blacks, discriminated against them, and continually sought to deny them basic civil rights. Being soldiers didn't change much for the 369th. The few black officers that existed were not allowed to lead white soldiers. Prior to their deployment to France, the white soldiers who made up the Rainbow Division of the New York National Guard's 42nd Infantry were given a grand parade before being deployed overseas. The 369th was not invited to the march because its commander was told that black was not a color in the rainbow. The U.S. Army never intended for the 369th Infantry to fight. After their arrival in France, the soldiers were assigned to labor service duties and relegated to unloading ships, digging trenches, and other non-combat work as they waited to see where the unit would be sent. The 369th, like other black units, were reassigned to 2 French divisions.
Vive la France!
They spent a total of 191 straight days on the front lines, longer than any other American unit, black or white. In May 1918, Private Needham Roberts and Henry Johnson of the 369th gained notoriety when they fought off a 24-man German patrol. Despite both men having been wounded, they stood their ground, killing a number of Germans.
Es sind die Männer aus der Hölle!
The battle became one of the most highly publicized events of the war, as Johnson's actions prevented Roberts' capture. On February 17, 1919, the Harlem Hellfighters were given a Heroes Welcome Home parade on Fifth Avenue in New York City. We are proud to honor the Harlem Hellfighters as heroes of color. Their example should never be forgotten, and their bravery remembered by all who serve. Dr. Ronald McNair was a renowned physicist, astronaut, and the second African American to fly into space. Although he came from a low-income family, his parents always encouraged him to do well in school, and he excelled at math and science at an early age. In 1959, 9-year-old Ronald attempted to check out 2 books at the segregated Lake City, South Carolina Public Library. He was asked to leave,
Get out of here!
But refused to do so until he was allowed to check out his books. When the librarian threatened to call the police, he sat on the counter and waited patiently. After the police and his mother arrived, the officers recommended that the library give him the books, as he posed no obvious threat. In 2011, that segregated library became a museum celebrating his life and was renamed the Dr. Ronald E. McNair Life History Center. In 1967, Ronald graduated as valedictorian from Carver High School in Lake City. It was renamed Ronald E. McNair Junior High School in 1986. In 1971, he received his Bachelor of Science degree with highest honors in engineering physics from North Carolina A&T State University. In 1976, Ronald received his doctorate from the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in quantum electronics and laser technology. He soon became nationally recognized for his work in laser physics and became a staff physicist with the Hughes Research Laboratories in California. Dr. McNair was an accomplished saxophone player and held a 6th-degree black belt in karate. In 1978, Dr. Ronald McNair was chosen by NASA for the astronaut training program as one of 35 finalists from a pool of over 10,000 applicants. On his first space mission in 1984 aboard Space Shuttle Challenger, he logged a total of 8 days in space. Dr. McNair flew his second mission aboard the Challenger on January 28, 1986.
Challenger, go and throttle up.
Just 73 seconds after launching, the world watched in horror as the space shuttle exploded in mid-air, killing all 7 astronauts. At the young age of 35, Dr. Ronald McNair left a legacy that continues to inspire a nation. Across the United States, over 24 schools, parks, and government buildings were renamed in his honor. In 1988, the McNair crater on the dark side of the moon was also named in his honor. In 1989, the Department of Education initiated the Dr. Ronald E. McNair Post-Baccalaureate Achievement Program to support disadvantaged students. In 2004, Dr. McNair was posthumously awarded the Congressional Space Medal of Honor. Dr. Ronald McNair was a brilliant man who exemplified excellence. His accomplishments demonstrated so vividly the importance of education and perseverance, and we are honored to call him a hero of color.
Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed those animations. And unfortunately tonight, David Heredia, he's in California, and he just called in and he's stuck in traffic. So it didn't look like he's going to be able to make it into our call tonight. But I do want to tell you something about David. He's a filmmaker, an entrepreneur, a freelancer, an author, and a public speaker. He's the founder of Heroes of Color, LLC, and it's dedicated to promoting inclusion and diversity through art, animation, and professional development. David's been featured on NPR, the New York Times, and PBS Online. And in fact, David was at our film festival this year. He did some workshops and panels for us. And then we screened the second film that you saw on Ronald McNair, was part of our children's programming that Saturday morning. And the first film that you saw, it actually won Best Short Film under 10 minutes at our 2017 film festival. I want to let you know that David has a book called The Freelance Hustle. Anybody that's really interested in being an entrepreneur, that's a creative and wants to learn how to freelance and make money from their craft, this is an excellent book. And then also for the kiddos, he's got a coloring book called Little Heroes of Color. And you can get that on Amazon as well. Now, for our the filmmakers that we have tonight and the people that we're talking about in their projects like this book or their coloring book, we're going to post, we'll go through in social media on our Facebook page later and post where you can find all of this material, where you can find their websites and learn more about them as well. But I hope you enjoyed those 2 films. They're definitely educational and definitely inspiring. Now I am going to turn it over to my cohort, Gloria, who's going to tell you more about the museum and about our next film. Take it away, Gloria.
Thank you, Linda. I'm having a wonderful time, and I know everyone else is as well. Well, the museum, as I said earlier, is a multicultural Western heritage museum. So we talk about the traditions and the history of our ancestors, of Native American, African American, Hispanic, Asian, and many other people who helped to settle the Western United States. One of the topics that the museum highlights is the Buffalo Soldiers. And that brings us to our next feature film, or short, which will be done, and it's talking about the Buffalo Soldiers of West Texas. This was produced and presented by one of our Hall of Fame inductees, Michael Aku Rodriguez. He is a filmmaker, a producer, a writer, and he also is a musician as well. He created the marketing video, which you will see, that is an overview of the museum. Although we are presently closed at the time period because of the coronavirus, we hope that you will visit our website and check out the videos that we have. And also the Hall of Fame. Make sure you go to the Hall of Fame tab, and it lists all of our inductees and information about them. So if you are looking for something to help bolster your young person's activities while they are out of school and yet even in school, please visit our Hall of Fame website, where they can find a lot of information about individuals they might not learn about in school, but who are yet a very valuable part of our history and culture. So at this time, I'm going to ask if we will go ahead and roll the museum overview, and then we'll have a conversation with the film producer, Michael Rodriguez. Thank you.
The museum has been open for 18 years. We were founded in February 2001 in Fort Worth, Texas.
And our mission is to educate the population about the history of the forgotten cowboys. And when we say forgotten cowboys, we mean Black, Hispanic, Native American, Asian cowboys. Because a lot of folks did not realize that they were a large part of development of the West.
And one of the things that I try to do as a historian and here at the museum is we try to separate myth and folklore from the real story.
We cover all genres of Western history and culture, all nationalities, and the practices that they had in the past and how that brings them to the present.
We do a rodeo twice a year, one during the historic stock show, which is always on Martin Luther King's birthday, and then we do one during the summer. The fourth Saturday in July is the National Day of the American Cowboy. So we always do a rodeo and we do our Hall of Fame induction ceremony. We have over 120 inductees into the National Multicultural Western Heritage Museum that tells the past, present, and future of the history of the cowboy.
The museum offers our Youth Western Heritage workshops, and those are programs that we invite school children to attend. They come Wednesday through Friday. We do 2 classes a day. We invite individuals who are actual historians to come in and talk about Western history and culture.
I think here at the museum they teach that and help that, bring that part of history so the young people can see their past and so it'll influence their future.
Because it took the past to get us to where we are today, so we should not forget that. And I'm very proud of all the museums that are taking the time to make an investment into the past history and teach the stories so that the next generation can experience it and understand the contributions that were made by those before them.
The museum essentially promotes and preserves an important part of our history. And I think really gives a voice to those forgotten cowboys.
The fact of the matter is the tourism industry all over the world is looking for things that are genuine, that are real.
One of my goals is that if somebody scratches their head and says, you know, I didn't know that, then mission accomplished. I would hope that somebody would learn something that they didn't know when they walked in the door.
Please come visit the National Multicultural Western Heritage Museum. We're located at 2029 North Main Street, Fort Worth, Texas, 76164, located in the historic Fort Worth Stockyard.
Fort Davis is a small West Texas town with beautiful scenic mountain views and historic charm. Hardly the place that you would expect to celebrate Black History Month, but tucked away between the Davis Mountains is the story of the Buffalo Soldiers.
The nickname Buffalo Soldiers, and this is not written down anywhere, it's just word of mouth and theory. Cheyenne, you know, watched and studied on these soldiers, and they had started equating the black soldiers to the buffalo. The hair on the black man's head to the hair on the buffalo. But think about what the buffalo meant to these Cheyenne. It was everything. It was their food source. It was a sign of strength. What did they do with the buffalo? They used every part of the buffalo to survive. So it was actually a term of respect to these black troops.
The first settlers of Fort Davis were the Buffalo Soldiers, men who broke the chains of slavery and made a commitment to serve their country in honor, with respect and dignity.
They were the soldiers. They were the troops here for actually 14 years. Fort Davis was totally manned by black enlisted men. You know, some of their major functions was to escort the mail and the travelers using the stagecoaches, you know, headed to California. Some accomplishments out here at Fort Davis, they built, you know, thousands of miles of telegraph line. They put in a water system. They actually drilled a well and put in a steam pump and a pipeline that some of these structures here at Fort Davis actually had running water in the 1880s, if you can believe that. Probably one of their biggest accomplishments in the Southwest was what we call the Victorio campaigns. Victorio was a Warm Springs Apache war leader. 2016 was actually the 150th anniversary of the establishment of the black troops in the United States Army. So this is a long-standing tradition, you know. They eventually become known as Buffalo Soldiers.
Amongst these Buffalo Soldiers was 2nd Lieutenant Henry Flipper. He was the first African-American graduate of the West Point Military Academy, and from there he served as a 2nd lieutenant for the 10th U.S. Cavalry, just one of 2 African-American cavalry regiments.
A message needed to be delivered from where Flipper was to where, I believe, where Grierson. It's been estimated that this was, I think, about an 85 or 87 mile horseback ride. And Flipper did this without stopping. You know, he had 2 charges brought up against him. There was an embezzlement charge and there was a conduct charge. And Flipper's job is to be the commissary officer, basically meaning he's in charge of the food supply.
After his dismissal, Lieutenant Flipper worked for the U.S. Department of Justice as a special agent and interpreter, all along maintaining his innocence as he sought to clear his name. He never got the justice he sought before his death when he passed away in 1931 at the age of 75. Decades later, Lieutenant Flipper's legacy was felt throughout the fort and throughout the world when in 1999 President Clinton granted a full and unconditional pardon to Lieutenant Flipper, more than a century after his dismissal.
Honor Flipper, the town decided to name the entry road of the fort Lieutenant Flipper Drive. We're learning more and more about Flipper and the Buffalo Soldiers as their nickname has become more and more every day.
As we continue to celebrate Black History Month, the memories and stories of the Buffalo Soldiers remind us of where we've been and who we are. For more information, visit Fort Davis National Historic Site. For CBS 7 News, I'm Erica Thomas.
Hi, is that a cool there?
Yes, hello everyone. You got me in the studio. I'm recording some tracks, by the way. So.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we're so happy that you could join us tonight to give us your perspective on why you think it's important to keep the history of the Buffalo Soldiers alive.
Yes, this project really came off because me and the reporter, we understood up here in West Texas that the history of certain cultures, let's just say, I don't like to use the word minorities, but certain cultures of color were never honored or respected in American history. So the approach was to create and give thanks to the Buffalo Soldiers out here in West Texas for the great bravery, the work, what they did out here. And we ended up pitching the idea to CBS 7, and we all got together and we decided to do this for Black History Month. So when we did this, we wanted to really touch base not on what happened in the past to certain cultures and certain negative approaches that were put upon a lot of us, but at the same time show the beauty and the accomplishments of what some of these soldiers did. And this film really played an interesting role in doing that. And being Native American, I relate to a lot of different, well, let's just say different things that happened in the past that I've learned as a storyteller to try to bring out and try to tell a beauty or a truth that was kind of hidden. Or let's put it this way: when I was in school, uh, let's just say I really wasn't taught. Uh, I guess I really wasn't taught. Let's put it that way. So when I grew
Yes.
up, I realized that hold on, there's something really different here in this story, and I'm grateful for what I do. That I'm able to be able to shed a light, uh, share a story on those hidden gems that I like to call that help educate the world, help educate cultures, and understanding that there's other beautiful truths out there. And if we can just educate ourselves on what's really going on in our society, we can actually have some respect and honor for those, uh, as we like to call as one, and that we can all just kind of work together and just create a beautiful place for all of us. And I know our time is short here, but meeting Gloria and Jim, it's been a really great honor, and to be a part of what they have created there it's amazing. I mean, to be able to go to Fort Worth, Texas, and to see that there's a multicultural museum there, that I actually never even knew that was there. And when I did, I gave Jim and Gloria a big hug and saying thank you very much for creating that for the world to come and see and to be aware of that knowledge and that hidden gems, so to speak.
Well, we appreciate you so much and the validity that you show through your work to those who might think that we're just making up things, that this really is factual because you are a researcher. And so your work helps to solidify what we're trying to do at the museum. And it leaves something for future generations to use as a point of reference. And I just really want to thank you for taking out the time to participate and letting me show this project on our film pop-up event, and also to let everyone see the person and meet the person who created the beautiful marketing video that you did for the museum. I really think that it is something that helps those who are not able to actually come into the museum yet to get a bird's eye view of what we have to offer. And I just really am excited about our future and working on projects together. Is there anything you'd like to share with us about any projects that you have coming up?
Oh, well, actually, to be honest with you, uh, because of this short, we called it a short mini doc special. That's how we quoted it. But because of that, we're actually going to turn it into a featured documentary. So right now we're looking on funding and getting the project really rolling, and we have some really great individuals behind the project as well. So I'm really grateful for it. Uh, it's been a very interesting, let's just say, interesting time in our society and our life, with not just, uh, you know, uh, certain cultures, but with the world. I just got back from, I can't really say where I was at, but
Right.
I was with Vice. And let's just say I was filming a lot of the certain things that were happening right now with riots and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, it's there was times where I had to step back and kind of really reflect who I am, what's my role in this world uh, that we're facing. And a lot of people can say they're worried, but I really look at this as some beautiful times. These are some very beautiful moments in our world that that help evolve and help change what we have always wanted. And Gloria was saying, I'm I'm a historical geek. But if you look at history, history will show you that it came to a breaking point till the consciousness had to realize that there's something has to change, something has to be evolved, pushed forward to where, you know, we can all just be at peace, live as one. You know, we all have bills to pay, we all have families. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I don't think society really looks at, that we have a lot in common. A lot of us have a lot in common. And those are just the basic necessities that we all live every single day to provide ourselves, provide the world, provide, you know, everyone we meet. So I just wanted to say thank you for the opportunity to be able to express this film and the opportunity to be talking with everyone. And I just got back actually 2 days ago, so I'm really grateful to be back. And Gloria had mentioned I was a touring musician as well before I got into film, and I love music, so it's a beautiful thing to be able to have that opportunity to express that and to you know, help just make this a really better place that we can all just keep living, keep creating, keep making films and art and music.
Well, thank you so very much, and we look forward to future projects, and you know we're here for you, and we know that you're here for us, and we're all together going to work to make our world, it's our world, a better place. And so thank you for speaking from your heart tonight and for just being who you are. Thank you so much, and blessings to you on your travels.
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, wow.
So there you go.
I talked to him on the phone several times. What a beautiful man. Wonderful man. I think you're going to introduce us to the recap video, and then I'm going to talk about the next film.
All right. Well, I'm going to tell you a little bit just from my perspective about the Denton Black Film Festival. If you have not gone, you need to sign up to get on the newsletter and get a chance to come out. Whatever way that they're going to present it to us in 2021, we're looking forward to it. I and my husband Jim, we have probably gone every year for the last 5 years, and it has just been a wonderful time. Not only are there films, but there are different other venues. There are focus groups, there are also panels, as well as spoken art and music, of course. And it's a great time and a great weekend, and we're looking forward to it, Linda, as to what you have coming up this year. I appreciate being one of the folks who get a chance to participate in it in person, but whatever way you present it to us in the coming years, we're looking forward to it.
Okay, well, great. Well, we're going to be playing that recap video. So for those of you who have not been to the film festival, you'll get a quick taste of what it's all about. And then after that, we're going to show you a film, One Last Goodbye. And this film has been it's been an official selection in over 20 different festivals. It's won several awards. It even won the best short film for 2020 at DBFF. Now, it offers an intimate view of the aftermath for survivors who've lost loved ones, their grief, and their painful journey to define a new normal. I will give it a disclaimer. There's a little bit of language and a theme, so if you have young children, you might consider this might not be the best film for them. But it is a very powerful film. And so let's get started with the recap, and then we'll go on to the film, and then Latasha Kennedy, the filmmaker, will be with us after the film.
Hi, yes, I'm calling regarding a statement in my wife's name, Cassandra Thompson. Hi, I'm calling regarding a statement in my wife's name. Unfortunately, I'm unable to pay that right now. Yes, I understand. Is there any way I can be put on a payment plan or? Yes, I'll hold. My name is James Thompson. I'm calling regarding... No, why are you being rude? You're calling my phone. Can you just put me on the phone with someone who can help me? Legal action. Wait, are you serious? The last person I was in communication with said that... No, that's bullshit. Fuck!
It's hard to leave with you still on my mind. To pack my things and leave it all behind. We better find out why we do the things we do. It took me some time, but I realize now it's all for you. It's all for
Hey. How are you?
Good.
We got a lot to do if we're gonna get out of here. You ready to start packing? Bro, we got 3 days to get out of here before your stuff is thrown out in the street. And it's gonna rain on Monday.
Okay,
All day.
I got it.
You're running out of time.
I got it.
Fine. I'm gonna get started. Excuse me.
Put it down.
We gotta pack up now, Jay.
Put it down, Janice. Now.
Okay, fine. I'll just pack up the bedroom then.
No.
No?
No.
Okay, so you're gonna do it then. When? When, Jay?
I don't know, but I'll do it, okay? Damn, why are you here?
Because it's time!
I don't think I can do this.
Bro, we have talked about this for months. You cannot stay here. So much has happened.
This is our home. You think it's easy? You think I could just pack my shit in the box, leave, and never come back?
No! No, that's not... Never mind.
I can't stay here. I'll never be able to afford this place. Not just on my salary alone.
Hey, you're positive that the donations can't help you buy more time?
I don't need more time. I need more money. With all these expenses. Her debt, my bills, I'm barely keeping my head above water. This shit is so fucked up.
So what do you want to do, bro?
Nothing.
Nothing? That's not an option. You have to do something. It's time to move forward.
Move forward? To what? Tell me. What the fuck I have to move forward to?
I'm really worried about you, Jay.
I'm fine.
You always say that.
Because I am. Please stop touching my shit.
Jay, I know you can do this.
You don't know shit, Janice. You and your fucking motivational speeches. Tell me where the fuck I go from here. Can you give me some guidance on that? I know how to pack a fucking box. Matter of fact, let's do it.
Jay.
Let's do it.
Jay, what?
Let's grab all this shit here.
Jay.
And
stop.
Let's pack all this because
That's
we
not
got to
Jay.
go, right, sis? Pack this. Let's pack
Jay.
that. No, I want to pack. That's what we're doing. We're packing, right? So let's pack.
Jay.
Pack that.
Jay.
Let's
stop.
pack
No,
this.
Jay, stop.
Trash these.
Jay.
Trash this. Trash these.
Put it
or
down.
not. It was a wedding gift from her favorite auntie. She told me to make sure I kept it full with flowers because she loved flowers.
Put it down, Jay. Jay. Jay, stop. Jay, stop. She was like a sister to me. I miss her.
I don't
too.
want this.
Jay,
I don't
stop.
want you. I'm sorry. Janice.
No, it's okay. I'll come back later. Maybe I won't.
Janice.
No! Enough! I am your sister, and I love you. But I need a minute. You cannot keep pushing me away like this.
I haven't pushed anyone.
Bullshit! You've pushed everyone away, and you've made it impossible to help you. Look around, James. Look around. Who else is here? I'm the one that's here. I've been here since the day she died.
I didn't ask you for any of your help.
You're so right. You didn't. Forgive me for giving a fuck about you. God, I just wish you would stop treating me like I'm the one who hurt you.
Anything else?
No. Good luck. We got a lot to do if we're gonna get out of here. You ready to start packing? We got 3 days to get out of here before your stuff is thrown out in the streets. So what do you want to do, bro?
Jay, you think this makes me look fat?
Yes.
What? Are you serious?
That ass looking fat.
Oh, here you go. No. I was being serious.
Look, we cannot. No, stop. We can't. Look, Grace. Okay, Seriously, stop. No. Stop. We can't. Look, this has to be perfect. We can't be late. Wait. Okay. No. Stop. Seriously. This has to be perfect tonight. We cannot be late. Feel me? Okay, you can get some more later.
You promise?
I promise.
Oh, hi, babe. I didn't know you was in here. Baby, you crying?
No. Yeah, but I'm okay. It's fine.
Baby, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just a little stressed out about work. So that's it.
What are you taking?
Nothing. It's just something I'm taking for my headaches.
You take prescription pills for your headaches now?
Look, Jay, there's nothing wrong, okay? I don't need you to fucking fix me.
Fix you? Cassie, I'm not trying to fix you. Listen, talk to me.
No! Look, I gotta get ready for work, okay?
Baby. Cass? Cassie. Cassie? Cass, no, hey, Cass, what are you doing? Hey, baby, Cass, hey, come here. What are you, hey, Cassie, baby, come. Cassie, wake up, Cass. Cassie, don't you die on me. Cassie, come here. Come to me, Cassie, come here. Don't you die on me. Cassie, don't you die on me. Come here. Cassie. I'm so sorry.
Jay. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. I just miss my wife.
It's okay.
I'm all alone.
No, you're okay.
I just want her back. I'm so sorry. I just want my wife.
I'm so sorry.
Well, hello, Latasha. Well, folks, this is Latasha Kennedy. She was the writer, director, producer, and even actor in the film that we just saw. And what I want you to know about Latasha is that she is a wife, she's a mom, she's an award-winning filmmaker. She's based out of Washington, D.C. She has a production company, LMK Entertainment Group, and she's also founder of an artist initiative called Boss Artist Nation. So, Latasha, I'm going to ask you first, where did this film, I mean, I want to get out the Kleenex every time. I've seen it several times, and it is so powerful, the acting, both you and Roderick Bradford Jr., just amazing performances. So tell me, where did this come from? What got you interested in this story? Why did you want to share this? Oh, your mic's not on, Latasha. I don't know if your mic's on.
Can you hear me?
Okay, now we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it so much. And I wrote this film shortly after my mentor died by suicide in late 2017. And I was very moved by the fact that she had made that choice. But I was also equally moved by the fact that her husband was now having to figure out what his new normal would be. And so there was talk that he might have to give up his home that he shared with her, and that there were a ton of bills that were just sort of piling up that was making it financially hard for him to just keep up. And so she had died out of the country, and so they had to bring her body back to the U.S. for a proper burial. And so much of his finances were just being eaten up by, having to take care of that and also take care of the ongoing expenses that they were sharing together. So I wanted to write it for that reason, just to help me process my own pain, but also because we were having a conversation in the African American community about the need for us to lean into our mental health. And I thought that was a very important conversation for us to have, but we weren't talking about those who were suffering from trauma, and those particularly who were loss survivors, who had lost someone who had died by suicide, and what their aftermath was like. So I decided to take the real experience that I experienced, and to put that experience in the African American experience, and to tell this story from the perspective of a young Black man losing his wife.
Yes, and that's what I love too. There's not many times that we get to see the vulnerability of Black men. To be able to see part love story, part someone really dealing with a tragedy in their life, and to see that emotion and everything, that's an image that we all need to see and understand.
I agree.
I thank you for
really
putting that out of the very important. And then I'm going to ask you, how did you start in filmmaking too? Give me a little quick, I'm sure it's a long story, but give me a little quick version of how you end up being writer, director, producer, actor, everything.
Yeah. Well, I think, it started when I was young. I've always been in entertainment, even as a young child, a teen, and majored in that in college, and decided to continue that route as for my career. But specifically for filmmaking, I made a pivot about 3 years ago. I just decided I wanted to tell more of my own stories. And so I just decided to lean into writing the same way that I had leaned into acting. And so I wanted to really master the craft of telling compelling stories and being able to do that and in a way that is authentic to the African American experience. So I created several short pieces, some of which, never really saw the light of day. It's just for practice. I just really wanted to figure it out. And I helped a lot of other filmmakers make their own work so that I could really learn the craft. And then when I lost my own mentor, I just really felt like, okay, I have something I have to share. And so I decided to use that experience as sort of my breakout film, so to speak.
Well, Excellent job. And I was going to talk about a current project you have too, because I know, and we'll give the link to the website and everything. We'll put that up on social media later so people can go to your production company online and see this new project you have, because you have a project called No More Names. Would you tell us about that?
Sure. So I created No More Names, honestly, a couple of weeks ago, as my response to the murder of George Floyd. And I was really, like many, deeply broken by what happened to him, and especially, the video and just all of the things that sort of led up to that moment and that transpired afterward. And so I just felt very frustrated and very upset and angry about the fact that another Black man name had been reduced to a hashtag. And I felt like he had so much purpose and so many more things to do in this lifetime. And so I created No More Names sort of as in a response to the fact that I feel like it's overdue that African Americans are seen as simply human beings. There's not a whole lot to talk about that. And so I created the film in response to just my own way of processing everything that was going on.
Well, I think it's very powerful. I mean, you use a lot of words, music, and images too to get your point across. So I was really moved by it when I saw it. We'll make sure that people have the link so that they too can go to your website and check it out as well.
Thank you.
So are there any other projects or anything else that you want to let us know about today?
Yeah, so we're leaning into some comedy in my production company. We're working on a mommy series, and I'm really excited about that. And I'm also working on a live virtual show called Beauty Behind the Brand that comes on every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we highlight 12 women in leadership who are living dynamic lives but are sort of hidden in plain sight. And then I'm also working on another project that is about friendship. And so we'll be exploring all the various dynamics of that. And that should be coming out in late July.
Well, I tell you what, you need to keep us involved, keep us in the know of what's going on.
I promise.
Everyone keep up with you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, thank you. We're going to I wish we had more time, but thank you for all the work that you're doing and you're putting out in the world. And we could use a little comedy about now too. So I'm really looking forward to what you're going to be doing with it.
Thank you so much.
We'll stay in touch, okay?
Okay, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to move now into, you can see, boy, it's amazing what you can do in a short film. Well, we've got 2 short films we're going to show you. One of them it's an international short film from Ghana. And the filmmaker, Ramesh Yah, he won't be able to join us, of course. He's in Ghana. But I wanted to show you this film because we're going to enter the struggling mind of a young man feeling the pressure to succeed, to become something. And what I really liked about this film is just a very short film, but it has an unexpected element to it. And I always like the unexpected. And then the next film we're going to show you is called Lime. And the filmmaker Dante Story is scheduled to be with us tonight. And it's about overcoming adversity, about walking in the footsteps of a young person, learning to really embrace who they are, despite the bitterness of the world. There is some adult language in this film as well, but I hope that you'll enjoy both of these. So, Life and then Lime.
Wɔwɔ nnipa kɛse ɛkwan na rutun kɔ na bɛhyɛ abusua na ɔnye kuro na enyimanyam bɛdze Nyankopɔn kyɛw
Kweku ɛna mɔdɔ a mewɔ ma wo nti ɛne yɛ daakye bɛtwɛn wae I'm sorry. No vacancy. No job.
Ejuma bi ani. Go, masa ejuma go. Go.
No work.
Will you clean the toilet?
Kweku, yɛhia sika. Yɛrɛ wo ho na pɛ adwuma bi yɛ na fa sika bra na fa bɛboa abusua. Ɛnyɛ saa akɔm bɛku yɛ.
So what?
I suspect you've taken the money. If you do not refund it, I am going to call the police. You will go to jail.
Kwekuna o chedodo.
Ensuro unim se ya dan fofo fie nkwala bre me dia hwe me hwe na ma.
O partner o emma.
Go ya ni mo ase.
Wo kunkura kaye.
Granny, them limes got my eyes burning.
Boy, you'll live. And don't come in here talking shit about my limes today. You got somewhere to be? You don't hear me talking to you? Don't you got somewhere to be today? You trying out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey,
Jen,
how are you?
Oh my God, it's so good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, boo. You know, just out here working, trying to secure that paper. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You good though? Ain't nobody been trying to fuck with you, have they? All right, because you know Big Sis got to make sure you good out here in these streets. It's family or nothing, shit. You already know.
Wait, tryouts are this week, right?
I hope you ready. Wait, I know you ready.
I don't know.
I mean, I've been practicing and stuff, but they're pretty dope.
Don't you do that. Listen to me. There won't be too many days I'll let you walk around here and not be great, boy. Now you know you got this. You hear me? All right, come on.
Hey.
You ready?
I don't know.
Just do everything I taught you. You got this. Trust me.
I'm just really nervous.
You got this.
All right. Just give me a hug.
Y'all ready? When the music start, you start. No half-stepping. We tap you, you out. No questions, no pouting. Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Drums ready? 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8. Congrats, y'all the best of the best.
Thank you.
On your car.
Side bet?
Side bet.
Side bet?
Side bet.
You trying to side bet, bro?
Side bet.
You trying to side bet? Hold up. Hey, man. What the fuck? What you doing, man?
Serious?
Just trying to go home.
I'm just trying to go home.
Yo.
Come on, man.
You a bitch, ain't you? What's up, bitch? You wanna be a bitch, huh?
Bet you one of them punk-ass faggots, huh? You probably ain't got no daddy at home either, huh? It's a damn shame.
Damn shame. Yo, I dare you knock this faggot out.
All right.
I'm taking off! I'm taking off!
Why were they doing this to you? You alright?
Who did this? Who the hell did this?
Some guys down at Henry's store, they did this. They did this because they don't like my uniform. They think I'm a faggot.
I don't ever want to hear you refer to yourself that way again. Do you hear me?
I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be a puncher bag for the rest of my life. I can take the name callings and I can take the jokes, but why is this happening to me? Why did God make me so damn different?
Baby, different isn't wrong. It isn't a bad thing. You want to be like them? They all fucked up with insecurities, beating up on folks because they ain't got no home training. You want to be like that? A black hole of nothing? Do you know why I love my limes, even though most people favor lemons? What people don't realize is while different, the lime is just as delicious. The pulp is tender and juicy and much sweeter than lemons, which is why writing it off makes no sense. What I'm saying is the same thing can be said about people. There are sour people in this world, and there are sweet people in it too. And in a perfect world, most of us would fall somewhere in the middle. But baby, the world ain't perfect. You know where our people come from, deep in Africa? There is a lime that is so lacking the sour, they call it the rare sweet lime. And one can only pray to be a sweet lime in that sour-ass world of lemons. It's special because it is different. And you should never be ashamed of being a little sweeter, all things considered. Besides, I won't allow it.
Five, six, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Well, welcome, Danta. How are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Some things I want you to know about Danta. He grew up in Compton, California, which he's very proud of. He studied acting and filmmaking in college, and I think when you grew up, you always liked acting and storytelling. Those were always things that were important to you, and you view yourself as a storyteller. And you like to tell stories that start conversations and add to the narrative that we all matter. And I love that about you, Dante, that storytelling is so important. And I really liked this film. And I want your idea. What inspired you to do this particular story?
Well, honestly, Lime is loosely based on my youth as a young person. I find it interesting sometimes that some of us, have to fight a little harder to feel like we're a part of the communities that we come from. And for me, it was not only like a love letter to my community, but it was also like a love letter to my younger self and to the youth that may find themselves struggling to find their space to fit in. You know what I mean? In a space that you feel like you belong to. So that's where the movie came from.
Right. I think it's very important because it's something that, particularly probably in the Black community, it kind of put a spotlight on that. And sometimes,
Exactly.
there's a great difficulty into dealing with people that are seen as the other or different.
Right.
And that, well, you've been through that, you've lived that. And I think films like this, it's so important for people to see that and to understand and to help us have those conversations that we need to have, and create understanding of how we are all one and have to love each other, and we have to understand and respect our differences.
Exactly. I agree. And
Right.
that's, what I meant by like starting conversations. I think it's important that if you have a platform, sometimes you want to make fun movies or scary movies. And sometimes you make movies that touch people and help others have hard conversations with their children or maybe a spouse or your family in general. You know what I mean? Movies do that. So I wanted to be able to help in that way.
Well, I think you accomplished that with your film. And the thing that's impressive too is you wore many hats on it. I mean, when you're a director, writer, producer doing the whole thing, how was that experience just in trying to do it all, put it all together?
I mean, I had amazing help. I had an amazing group of producers that were producing alongside myself. My cast was amazing. My DP, my AD. It was difficult. One, because I wrote a film or a story about my life, but then being a director, you're the boss. But as a writer, I felt a different type of connection to the art, and it was. I'm lucky because I was very stressed out, but it was worth it. But I found a lot of people who felt just as passionately as I did about telling this story. So it made it made everything that would have or could have gone wrong easy to resolve because I had the cast and crew that really had my back, and so it made Lime possible, honestly. So it wasn't too hard because I had support.
That's good, because that's the thing about filmmaking. So many times we watch a film and we don't think about all the people and all the different elements that are involved in putting something, even how powerful a short film can be, and all the elements and everything that you have to put together and telling a story in such a short amount of time. So I want to ask you too, in our time together, what are you doing now? Is there anything we should be looking out for from you, or any projects that you're working on? Any thought?
Yeah, I'm actually, before all the quarantining, we were working on my production company. We were working on I'm calling a dark comedy with horror elements. I'm really big into campy horror. And my goal as a storyteller is to put Black people center stage. I don't need characters there because they're Black. I just want them to just happen to be Black. You know what I mean? And that's what I'm doing with this movie, Duly Murder, which is another short, and I'm working on my first feature called Boys Like Us. And so I'm writing and hope to get on a set pretty soon.
Well, excellent. I'll tell you, we'll be looking out for what you're doing in the world. I hope that you'll, stay in touch with us. We'll stay in touch with you and see what you're up to. So thank you so much for being with us tonight and sharing with us your film. If there's a production company, if you have a website or anything that you want us to put out in the world, because after this, we're going to share the filmmakers that have been on. I'll be able to share some things with people so that they want to look you up or keep up with you, they'll be able to. So just shoot me any information I need like that, okay?
I will do. Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Dante. Okay, now we're looking to our last film tonight, Patience. It's interesting that Dante mentioned kind of the horror genre, because we've got our next film by a local filmmaker from Frisco, actually, Issa Currie, who will be here to talk with us afterwards. This is a regular day becomes a nightmare when Louis can't figure out what is inside his head. So we're going to move on to patient 0.
Hey, little buddy. Looks like you're in some trouble. Hold on. I'll be right back. Come on. I got you. Ah!
How can I help you today?
I found this little guy at the park. He looks pretty bad.
Yeah, he does. We can take care of him. Would you like for us to take a look at that cut?
No, it's all good. It just stings. I'll take care of it whenever I get home.
Here's a napkin.
Morning, babe. Long run this morning?
Nah, ran into a cat that looked like it got into a fight.
Yay, we're getting a cat!
No. I dropped it off in the back. They're gonna look it up. Alright. I need you two to go get your bags.
I left mine in the car.
She forgets everything. Chloe, be nice.
Okay. Go brush your teeth. I'll go get your bags for you.
That was a kind thing you did for that cat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and maybe tonight I can show you how kind I can be.
Oh, really? So you're picking up the kids and taking them to your parents' house?
Nope. Mom's grabbing them after school. She wanted to get their weekend started early.
I'm gonna go get the bags out of the car, okay?
Okay, babe.
I'm sorry. Just been real busy at work. I'm actually about to head out now.
Well, if you need a place to relax, you can stop by after work. I give the best massages.
Thank you, Daddy.
Text me. Hi, Lacey. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Debbie.
Che guerra siempre anda corriendo en la mañana, por la tarde y por la noche. ¿Por qué no te vas a tirar de un puente y deja de coquetear con mi esposo?
What?
Nothing.
Are you okay? You look like you're coming down with something.
I'm fine. Just a long week. We're gonna have a great weekend.
Yes, we are. Love you.
Love you.
So zone 11. Par 5, mean, dog leg left. Walk up to the tee. Feel like this is my shot. Mind you, I have my brand new driver in my room.
Hey, Lewis.
Jesus Christ, Davey. You almost gave Lewis a heart attack.
Sorry, Mr. Williams.
That's fine. What's up, baby?
Your wife called, says you're not answering your cell. Just making sure you're okay.
See? I knew something was wrong.
I'm fine, Robert.
You look clammy.
You should go to the health center.
Yeah, get your sick ass out of here. I do not need your sickness fucking up my day tonight.
All right. I'll go see the doc.
Hey, Lewis.
Hey.
Fam doing okay?
Yeah, we're doing well.
Good. How long you had this cut on your arm?
It happened this morning. I was helping a stray cat.
Well, it looks a little infected. Tell you what, we'll run a blood test to check for rabies. I'll have the nurse to give you an antibiotic shot to cover the bases. We'll redress the wound, and then I'm writing a script for an ointment for you to apply. How's that?
Thank you, Doc.
All right. Next time, stay away from stray animals. Just call animal control, okay?
Okay.
All right. Get to feeling better.
Lewis, how's it going? How's the family? Hear about John's promotion? He really deserves it. Really proud of him. You okay, man? You don't look so good. You should probably see a doctor.
This is an urgent public service announcement from the CDC. An unknown virus is being spread in the surrounding counties. Conditions of virus include fever, involuntary zoning out, cold sweats, uncontrollable rage, and some flu-like symptoms.
Dr. Johnson, patient Williams, his results are in.
Hi, this is Lewis. Leave a message at the tone.
Lewis, answer your phone. I'm worried about you. Amy said you left work today at lunch to go see the doctor. She hasn't heard back from you. I'm scared, babe. You see strange reports about this virus? Please, call or text me. I love you.
Call ended.
Lewis, are you home? You left your car and your front door open. I'm just making sure that you're okay. Are you still up for that massage? Lewis?
Lewis? Are you here? Lewis?
Hello, Esau. How are you?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm good. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing just fine, just fine. And I want to say a couple of things about you. Uh, Issa Currie, he's a filmmaker. He's local here for us in Texas, in Frisco. He's a husband, a father, and I think quite prolific in terms of films. You seem to be putting something out every year, at least one or two films. In 2019, you won the Best Texas Short at our festival for Don't Drink the Water. And then this past year, Patient Zero was one of the featured films in our festival. I know that you've got a full-time gig, I guess, at Funimation. And so you do, which I guess pays a lot of the bills probably, because most filmmakers are, that's what they have to do, have some type of full-time gig or something. And then you do this filmmaking. And I think this is your first time in the horror genre, right? You said this was something new for you?
Yes, it is. Yes, it was my first time trying to venture into this genre. I did pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. I would say so. So did you enjoy doing it? Do you anticipate doing more horror or?
No, I liked it, but I think my area, like directing, is more in the science fiction and kind of drama area.
Okay, good. That's good. Then I was going to ask you too, you have an interesting story about how you got involved in filmmaker. I mean, how did you become a filmmaker?
Well, I kind of got tired of my everyday job, like working in the restaurant industry, and I was holding my son in my arms, and I was in like, what can I show him, or I just don't want to show him that. I want him to strive for something, and me to show him to strive for something. And so I sat there and said, hey, I have this big movie collection. So I talked to my wife, and I said, hey, what if I did this, go into filmmaking? And she was like, well, why don't you go back to school and learn how to do it? And so I quit my job, went to UNT, got my radio, TV, and film degree in 2015, and I've been doing this ever since.
Great. Wonderful. Wonderful story. It's good to have a supportive wife and family, to help you realize your dream. And I thought the casting was good too. I liked the gentleman, Lewis, I guess, in the film. And I think Calvin, another filmmaker, Calvin Walker, actually does a lot of your casting, right?
Yes, he does. Calvin Walker's done casting for my last 3 films. There's another film that I just entered in the Denton Black Film Festival that Selassie Botchwitz is another lead role. Again, I really love him. Like, greatest actor, guy, friend I've ever had, kind of. So.
Yeah. Well, it's wonderful because you formed this community kind of people where you've got Calvin. I know Jeremy Wilkinson is your partner in crime from a lot of the production end and stuff. So you formed this group, and that has got to make life really fun, make things a little bit easier, but a lot more fun.
Yeah, it does. When you get a core group of people around you that all want to do the exact same thing and are behind you, believe in your project, but the first thing you have to project that to them, that you really believe in your project as well, and people will follow you and they will help you out in the project if you believe in them. Just make sure, like, everybody has a job. I'm a director. I don't always have the best ideas in the world. So I looked at everybody else, like my DP, my art instructor, my art designer, my costume designer, everybody, for their ideas, just to make it even better than I thought it could be.
Right. And I think it's so important for people to realize all the different roles that go into making a film. Because we know, sometimes we have prominent actors that can be in front of the camera, or sometimes directors, but there's a lot more positions on a film set that need to be diversified, all of those roles. There's just a lot of opportunities available there. And it's just letting young people know, that there are opportunities out there and you can pursue different things, So I think that's really important. It's great that you form your group and everything. So what are some other projects? What else is on? I know you've got a film that you've entered for the next year's film festival. What else do you have going on? Anything
Right now
about?
it's kind of been slow since the whole quarantine and everything, but I have been working with the writer on my first feature script that we just finished the second draft on, called Black and White. It's about a future, about two detectives trying to figure out where morality still stands in the world and how they can kind to overachieve that with the government and everything else against them.
Okay, is that kind of inspired by some of the events that are transpiring these days?
Yeah, kind of. Morality, I see morality in the world right now as just all over the place. People really don't care. They're just, I'm out for myself. Kind of, I see that a lot. But this is it kind of piggybacked off of that, but we kind of went in different directions with it because it's a super science fiction kind of a dystopian world, just craziness. So we'll see how it goes on that one. But it's like a far off distance. But we got the script done. But now it's to tighten it up some more and try to pitch it out there now.
Okay, it's just that and just about money, right? Just a little bit on funding
Yeah.
and everything going, get it produced. But that's great, and I hope you'll keep us in touch. We'll stay in touch with you too. We want to know what you're putting out in the world and to let people know. Be sure we're happy that we have a platform that we can, display work that's being done by filmmakers, especially filmmakers of color.
I'm really happy. I really like the Denton Black Film Festival. I'm hoping my silent partner gets in the next film festival, so everybody can kind of see that one, because that one was a kind of a science fiction, over the top kind of thing that I thought that we pulled off very well. So I think I don't think I could do anything else but make films now. I think this is my life, and I can't go back to doing anything else.
Well, I can't picture you doing anything else either, and we'll see what happens. I can't promise you anything about your new film, but we'll certainly look at it. Our team will look at it, and we do like different types of films. We like to show the work, the creativity that Black filmmakers have in all different genres. So that's part of what we're about, not one specific thing. And like tonight, we hope that we showed a kind of a wide view of the different types of films that you can find at the Denton Black Film Festival. There's not much comedy being made out there today, and it's a difficult genre, and I'm hoping that, I know one of the filmmakers mentioned that she's doing something in comedy. And I know we could lighten it up a little bit sometimes, so,
Yes,
but that tends to be hard to find, to discover, so we're out there looking all the time.
Well,
Yep.
comedy's hard. Comedy's hard. Like
Yep.
with Don't Drink the Water, it was hard to find comedy. It's with your actors as well. You got to let them go. You got to let them do their job too, and let them try to bring out that funny in your script that you thought you had funny in.
Yeah, it is, and that's what I understand that it is. It's when people think comedy, but it's really more difficult than a lot of other, forms of film like dramas or other things. It's really that timing and everything is so important. So, well, we're going to thank you today, Issa, for dropping in on us. And we will stay in touch and continue to support you and look for what you're putting out in the world. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Good evening.
You too.
Okay. Miss Gloria should be coming on. There she is. Well, Miss Gloria, I think you have a reminder to put out there in the world. Today, are you on, Gloria, or you just got that frozen?
I'm on.
Huh?
I'm here.
Is she on? Okay, something's not doing so well with the internet here. We've got a frozen image and I'm not hearing anything. So I will do a reminder that this event that we're putting on is part of a larger event, the Juneteenth music festival put on by Jim Austin Online. So we encourage everyone to have some really amazing music going on tomorrow night and Saturday as well. So be sure and check it out. It's you can go to the website www.jimaustinonline.com and get more information about the event. I also want to remind you of one thing. There's a wonderful new movie coming out, a feature film called Miss Juneteenth. And it is done by Channon Godfrey Peoples. This is a Black female filmmaker out of Fort Worth. She debuted her film at Sundance this year. It was very well received. She even got what most filmmakers want, and that's a distribution deal. So Vertical Entertainment is releasing the film on Friday, tomorrow. You can, if you go check out our Facebook page or our website, you will find a link to the film. You can rent it or you can purchase the film. You can rent it for like $6.99. You'll have 48 hours to watch it, or you can purchase it for $12.99. Have some friends come over and watch the film, and then you can watch it as many times as you want to. It's your own digital copy. The proceeds from those screenings will benefit the Denton African American Scholarship Foundation, which provides scholarships for high school students, as well as benefit the Denton Black Film Festival. So we ask you, and you can, that link will be in effect for a long time. So if you miss it this weekend, you can still go next week and see the film. We're also planning an event where we'll have Shannon and her husband, who was a filmmaker, who was also a producer on the film. We hope that we can get them together so that we can have a conversation with them about the film and the whole process and everything. Because I always think it's interesting to find out what the filmmakers are doing, what they're all about. And I think, Gloria, you're going to thank our sponsors, because we can't do this without our sponsors.
Well, we want to thank all of our sponsors, and it was sponsored in part tonight by CSI Renovations and Roofing, Fidelity Investments, NBC5, Visit Fort Worth, Denton Black Film Festival, Tarrant County College District, Radisson Hotel, Fossil Creek, Mrs. Renfro's, Austin Company Commercial Real Estate, DFW Metroplex Jazz, What's Up Fort Worth, The Warehouse on Berry, Stockyards Podcast Studio, 116 Media, Southern Dallas Magazine, and Fort Worth Weekly.
That's right. It takes a lot of people to put on a music festival and a pop-up film festival. And also, if you like the work that's being done by the National Multicultural Western Heritage Museum and by the Denton Black Film Festival, please go to our link for donations. They will be gratefully accepted, because it does cost, to be able to put on these free events and other events and just to put a festival on. So we encourage you to please like us on Facebook, go to our website, join our newsletter so you can find out about all the events that we're going to have. We've got a lot of things coming up, or we're planning for you, because we've become kind of a year-round festival too. We have our main festival in January, but through the year we'll be doing different events and looking at different movies and just trying to keep you in the know. So please keep up with us. And I'm going to say good night. It's been wonderful. I hope that you've had a good time, that you've enjoyed. I hope that you have been entertained, educated, and inspired tonight.
I've had a wonderful time. Thank you so much, Linda. And thanks to all of our friends, family, and supporters for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Good night.